We are now just one day away until opening statements begin in the retrial of Karen Read.
This comes after a lengthy search for a jury, and now the question becomes, how will this trial differ from the first one? We're going to go now to NBC 10 political commentator Sue O'Connell. She's here in studio with us.
Sue, you were in court for the first trial. You'll be there for the second. So let's begin where the trial will, which is opening statements.
Right.
What do you expect to hear from either side that could be different from last time?
Well, JC, I think from the prosecution side, we can expect a cleaner storyline this time, a better narrative. They will say that Karen Read drank, drove, and it ended in death, and they will likely spend less energy defending their witnesses from the defense's third-party suspect theory. Then on the defense side, now that they're not restricted by keeping that federal investigation under wraps, I think they'll probably lean heavily into their ARCA crash experts and what they say that evidence shows.
And Sue, the first time this case played out, we hadn't really heard of Karen Read before. Now she's the worldwide true crime celebrity, Karen Read. So how does that impact, do you think, going into the next trial in terms of the publicity? I know it can be a double-edged sword.
Indeed, right? So the numerous interviews Karen Read gave after the first trial will definitely impact how the prosecution approaches the case. And look, her higher profile as a true crime celebrity will definitely boost her fundraising efforts. But whether she's a local or an international figure, some of that isn't actually going to make its way into the courtroom. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, the publicity, speaking of that, Karen Read supporters stood outside the court almost every day of the trial. There's really no reason to expect it will be any different this time around. What is it about this case, do you think, that has so many people intrigued?
Well, JC, I think a lot of people can relate to Karen Read's situation and the story. Friends going out for drinks before a blizzard, and someone ends up dead, in this case, tragically, John O'Keefe. That could certainly happen to anyone. Life changes in a moment like that. But one thing about Karen is that she is both relatable and aspirational as a figure. And what really surprises me is how many Karen Read supporters I've talked to over the year who wouldn't have previously described themselves as suspicious of law enforcement and a district attorney's office. And that disconnect probably has a lot to do with the social media attention that case received before it even went to trial. So I'm curious if and when this trial is finished, if they're going to continue their fight against injustice or if this ends up just being about Karen Read.
NBC 10 commentator Sue O'Connell. Sue, thank you.
You're welcome.